Hey guys, how's it going? Good to see you guys. Good to see you guys. How's everybody doing? I am in a 2022 book right now, and what I'm doing is prepping it and making it look like a 2023 book. So ignore what I'm doing here. I'm just seeing if this is possible. Because I know I've got a lot of you guys who have already worked really hard in prepping a 2022 book up. And just in case you don't pass, what if you want to take it in January? I'm just seeing if this is even possible. And so far, I'm all the way to the digestive system, and I'm able to do it so far. I'm just working away here. Let's see. That one got deleted. That one got deleted. Which one else got deleted? They're redoing my hernias. I hate that. I love my hernias. I know my 9.5s are the open hernia repairs, and then my 9.6s, as far as the second digit, is the laparoscopic. Well, for 2023, they're going to do them by the size of the hernia. 2 centimeters, 3 centimeters, 4, whatever. So they're redoing all my 95s and my 96s. Dang it. I like those. Thank you, April. How's it going? It's good to see you guys. I'm just seeing, and I'm thinking that I'm going to be able to make a 2022 book into a 2023. I didn't think I was going to be able to. I thought there was going to be too many changes, but come to find out, there's 1,000 new category 2 codes that in that section, if you have a question in that section at all, it's one question on the exam, maybe. And I know not all of the certification exams code from that area. So most of the changes aren't too bad. There's only 4 new codes in integumentary. There's nothing in anesthesia. We're not going to talk about E&M, but it ain't too bad. There's only 1 new code in musculoskeletal. There's 8 or 9 in cardiovascular, so it's not too bad. But I do have quite a few here in digestion. How many am I going to have? Maybe 10 here in digestion, but it's just these hernias. They're redoing these. They're 95s and 96s, and I think I can write out what they've done. I think, because it's at the end of the chapter, and we have all of this page, and then we have all of that page. So I think we'll be okay. And then there seems to be in the 5,000s, no new codes. No new codes. 1 new code in 6,000. 2 new codes. 3 new codes. 3 new codes in 6,000. 1 new code in radiology. Lab and Path is going to have, I wrote all this out last night to see if it was able. Lab and Path, I'm going to have like 8 new codes. None in medicine. Nothing's new there. And then that's it. The rest are going to be category 2 codes, I think. But I'm still working on it. Still looking to see. Let's see. Did our 49565, did it? Yeah, it's deleted. Now, don't make these notes. These have nothing to do with our 2022 year. I'm just playing around, waiting on everybody to show up. And look, they're even getting rid of our mesh. 68's deleted? Yeah. So this, again, this is changes for 2023. This has nothing to do with the exam in its current state, either through AHEMA or NHA or for AAPC. I'm just seeing, I got me another plain 2022 book that I don't have any notes in at all, and I'm just seeing if I can turn it into a 2023 book with just a little bit of effort so that it isn't too overwhelming. I might be able to. Might be able to. That will save you guys $150 if you just get like a $25 document from me, and then I'll show you what page numbers to go write what on, and I'll have it all done out for you with pictures. So that would save you some money. So we'll see. What else got deleted? 68 got deleted. 70 and 72 got deleted too. But this is for, again, 2023. Nothing to do with right now. You're new. What do I teach? I teach you how to pass a medical coding certification exam from the medical coding certification point of view. You don't need any prerequisites, colleges, anything at all. You're just going to need you an AMA CPT book. If you're just now starting, you're going to need one from 2023. And you can get that from Amazon and have it shipped to you for free. And then you're going to start making notes. Notes in this book, because the exam is multiple choice and it is open book exam. So you can make notes next to each number. And I will teach you from the exam point of view how to pass that exam. So what have I got up here? This is, where's my 2022 that I have notes in? Where did I put that sucker? I shoved it aside because I didn't want to change these notes that I did just in case it got overwhelming. All right, there's that one. Lord knows, I got a million of these things. But if you want a career to work from home or work in a doctor's office and you don't have to touch patients, but you're still helping out, you're just turning medical words into numbers, and that's what a medical coder does. And I teach you how to prep the book so that you will know what to write underneath each number. That will be your difference that you look through the exam question with to find the proper answer. And that's what I teach here. Thanks for sharing the live. Thanks for tapping away. I've got practice questions in medicine that we did not finish Monday, and practice questions that I didn't finish from the workshop I did on Sunday. But we're going to do those in medicine, and then we'll switch over to musculoskeletal. Somebody in our study group asked me to do musculoskeletal today, so let me get rid of this 2023 book. This doesn't go in effect till January, so we don't need it. If you're ready to take your medical coding certification exam now, then that's what I work on. I'll show you how to answer the practice exam questions with the process of elimination, with looking for similarities, with out reading the questions at all is what I like to teach, so that we only look at the questions just for the differences in the codes. That way you don't read the whole note and get all confused. I do free teaching every Monday, Wednesday, Friday for 2 hours. Starts at 6:30 Arizona time zone. And I repost all of these free teachings I do onto YouTube. Just jump in and start listening and start practicing. Go to my website, medicalcodingbyjen.com. You'll find my social media links right there, where you can find my YouTube, the Discord study group, which is all free. You'll also see pages that are under CPT book prep, which will show you exactly a picture of my page. You click on the picture and it'll show you exactly how to prep your book. And you just kind of follow along and hang out with me and get the books. I have 3 TikToks that are pinned. And one of the very first ones is Where Do I Start? Be sure and watch that. It'll tell you what books to buy in what order. This will be the fastest, most cheapest, and most efficient way to pass your medical coding certification exam without courses, without a lot of money. I like to teach for free. I don't like to charge y'all for anything. I even have the study group for free. Which is super helpful because it's on Discord. That thing is awesome. If you are taking a medical coding course right now and you have questions and it's going so fast and you don't understand what in the heck's going on, post your questions in our Discord group. There's always somebody in there that can help you. All that kind of stuff. And Twinkle is helps me. So if she's messaging you, or others like Red and MK and a lot of the students that have been with me for a long time, they're all here to help you just like I help you. So hang out. What I'm going to show you here is practice questions. Try not to talk too much and spend the first hour just rambling. That way I can show you guys what's going on with these questions and what the exam would exactly look like. So it'll come up with a clinical note first, and then it'll give you a multiple choice answer at the bottom. So what you need to do is remember not to read the clinical note or the question that goes along with it. Go straight down to the bottom to the answers. I rearranged the questions so that I see the answers first, but y'all need to be sure and study that way too, because if you're practicing and studying questions the regular way, then it's not going to benefit you, because we could possibly answer the question just from the codes. It's more important to focus on the answers and look at the differences there. Look for coding irregularities, things that would not be coded together, and get the differences before we look at the question. That's why I hide the question. There's no need of looking at the question in many of the exam questions. You can do them without even looking at one word sometimes. So super handy dandy just to start out by looking at the codes. So right here, they're all super close. We have 2 that are 51 and 52. I'm just looking at them numerically. And then these 2 are 55 and 56. 55 and 56 probably have a different header than the 51 and 52 if you look in your CPT book. So we are in our 2022 AMA CPT book, and we are on page 848 and 847. Our differences in our codes are dealing with sedation. 51 and 52 is just one provider working on the patient. 55 and 56 is 2 providers, right? And you get that information either from the CPT code descriptors or my notes, or watching my lives and let me show you what the differences are. If you read those CPT code descriptors in 55, it says other than. Those 2 words in the second sentence is your key difference. If you look at 99151, the key difference is first line, last 2 words, the same. Basically, the CPT code descriptors are the same exact thing except for those 2 words, the same and other than. And just knowing what that means, that this means this is one physician, that this means there's two physicians, that helps out because you can search the question to see how many people were messing with the patient. Was one manipulating a bone back into the place while the other one was injecting the sedation? If that's true, then we're going to keep B and C. If it's not true and the same physician gave the shot and then the same practitioner manipulated the bone back into place or whatever, then we'll keep A and D. And that's only thing we're going to look for in the question. We're not going to read it for word. We don't need to know how old they are. We don't even need to know their diagnosis. We just need to know how many docs are working on this patient. So we're going to look for the ED physician, placed the patient and gave them an injection, and a nurse monitored the patient, and then an orthopedic resident came down and fixed the elbow. So we got all kinds of doctors around, so all kinds of help. So we're going to get rid of A and D right away off the bat. That helps you during this exam get down to a 50-50 shot. If you know nothing else, you've at least got that. So now all we got to do is figure out what's our differences between 55 and 56. And that's on page 848. And the difference is it time? No, age. It's age of our patient. 55 is younger than 5, and 56 is older than 5 years old. What do you do when your patient is 5? Which answer do you think? B or C, guys? How quickly do you upload your videos to YouTube? That's an ongoing fluid question. Twinkle hasn't yelled at me. I have no idea how many I'm behind on uploading. We're gonna have to get somebody to yell at me and say whether I've got them all uploaded or not. But I am this is not my full-time job. I do have a full-time job, so all this I bring to you is in my spare time. I do have 3 sons at home with my mom, so yeah, I know I didn't upload Mondays. I can't even remember if I uploaded Fridays yet. I do tutor every day too, before work or after work, so it's always on top of that. I do individually tutoring, but yeah, I can't remember. But hopefully, usually I try to do it super quick. Thanks, Nick. All right. The answer for this one is C, because this one is 5 years and older. So that's all we needed, was to figure out how many docs worked on the patient and then the age of our patient. We didn't need to read all of that or worry about anything else. We don't need to worry about the second code either, since all the first ones are different. You don't want to spend any time with these questions at all. In general, you have about 130 seconds per question to answer. The exam is 100 questions long. 10 of them are cases that may have more reading to do, and you need to take it within 4 hours. And that's 25 questions per hour. So divide that into however many seconds there is, and you can figure that out. But it's fast. It's fast. And you've got to find all these codes. One of the challenges is even trying to find the numbers. The numbers are supposed to be in numerical order, but we do have some that are out of order that we need to go through the book ahead of time and prep it and put the page numbers down where they are missing or have been moved to. Because the book only gives you a range of codes to go search through to find the code when they moved it, and that's stressful. So I just put the page numbers down beside it. So that's one of the first things we need to fix as soon as we get the book. Thanks, Go-Kart. Happy to hang out and help. I keep failing by 1 point. Vero, have you tried? It's 144 seconds. Thank you for doing the math for me. That's fast. Unless you get an ADA, which the instructions are on my study group, and that I have pictures of what you can send into AAPC, and you can get an hour over and get an extra hour if we can find a good medical reason. What was I going to answer? You missed it by 1 point. Have you tried? Let me move this. I don't know if I've seen you before, but have you done, let me see here. Oh, I hate how Yahoo takes over my Google. I wish I could get rid of that. P-O. And see, right there, it's taken over again. I don't like Yahoo. Pocket Prep. Have you tried Pocket Prep yet? Where's the right one? There it is, Pocket Prep. If you're failing by 1 point, Pocket Prep has 500 questions for the CPC exam, and they have a pass guarantee. Where am I at? Medical. I want to go to medical, and I want to pick AAPC. And if you go here, you can put it on your phone or your desktop, and you can do questions every day. These are pretty cool questions. Some of them are too easy, some of them are not hard enough, but then some of them are really hard. But they give you page numbers, and they give you full rationale. And with the pass guarantee thing, you can get your money back. Right here, our pass guarantee, and they don't charge you too much. It is one of those things where you're going to have to go back in and delete and terminate your account. You can't just buy just 1 month and automatically stop. You're going to have to go back in and stop the subscription, but that's cool. For $40, you get 500 questions, and they're not bad. And if you're that close, you should be in Pocket Prep, because this will help you. Let me show you what they look like. Well, no, I can't on this account. I got to go to my other account over here. Let me go over here. See where I put them. Pocket Prep. There we go. Let me show you what they look like. They're not bad. Let's go do like, no, I want to start a new quiz. You can go in here and build them from whatever subject you only want to do. I can go to evaluation and management. I only want to do those questions, or you can do any questions you want. I got 30 of them. We can hit start quiz, and then they'll ask you questions like this. Which one of these is right for this? Well, I don't know what LTCF means or ICF means, but a lot of people can guess what SNF means. And it does have the word nurse in the middle, and the only answer that has nursing in it is right there. So just click it and see if you're right. You can scratch out some answers too. I'll show you in the next one. But if you hit show your explanation, it does give you full rationale with page numbers of where to go find the answer, which is great. I love that. They are written in a format that is just like AAPC. Critical care performed for how long? For 2 hours. So just go look at your chart, see how you would bill for 2 hours. Is it times 2 or by itself? The 91. What do you guys think? I know it's definitely not going to be this one because we don't do times 2 on the 91, so I can hit scratch out on that one, which is kind of neat. I know we're not going to do an office visit with a critical care visit, so I can scratch out that one. It's called Pocket Prep. Is it times 2? Thank you, button. there you go. Correct answer. And then you've got full rationale with the page answers. I don't recommend pocket prep if you have not failed the CPC exam. If you're starting out and you're wanting to pass, what I recommend is you always start out with AAPC's practice questions. They are the best source that you're going to have, that they have. You need to buy their practice study questions from their AAPC website. It's $150 for a year's access for 300 questions. They are written by AAPC. They are in their format. They are something that you're going to want to practice, and they do have rationale with them. They don't tell you the page numbers, but they do have rationale. You really want to start out with these and only use these to take your medical coding certification exam. If you don't pass, and you've been watching me, of course, and you still need more help, because I can't tutor everybody. I wished I could individually tutor everybody. This is almost like tutoring, because it's a whole nother set of more practice questions, and it's 500 of them. Go do this if you can't get into tutoring with me. So your differences are new patients versus established. Don't read that question. Go see if they're new or established first. They are established, so we know we can get rid of that one, and we can get rid of that one. Our differences between this is time and MDM. If they don't give us time and they don't give us MDM, then we'll need to use our page 17 to see how many chief complaints they have or chronic conditions. What do you think? If a doctor ordered a patient to have a CT scan of the abdomen, are we an increased risk at 13 or are we at 12? And the visit only lasted 15 minutes, so we do have time. What time goes with our 12 or 13? Hey, Twinkle. No, you can't get any of this for free. These are copyrighted questions from Pocket Prep and from AAPC. You really want to be sure and not infringe on their... They went to a lot of trouble to write and create questions for you guys to study with, so we don't share them all openly in a format. We can study with them as a group and use them, but I won't ever show off every single question and mess with their copyrights. They do a lot of stuff for this, so. And $34 is not a bad price for 3 months access of 500 questions. I mean, you could do 1 month for 14, turn off your subscription, but just copy paste, I guess, all the questions and answers to something. But at least you've paid them their money that they require for their work. So that's a good thing. Everybody likes C. Let's hit C. Nope, it's a 12. You want to see? The reason it is 12 is because our time for the 15 minutes matches with our 99212, because the time frame for that office visit is 10 to 19 minutes. If we were going to be in a 13, the time would have been 20 to 39 minutes. The patient didn't, or the doctor did not meet the requirements of spending enough time with the patient to bill that. So these questions are pretty cool too. I do scour the internet and I buy literally every question I can ever find from anywhere. And I do try to help out you guys by presenting cool ones that I think are awesome. But I don't want to give all this stuff away for free. That's not ethically good. I mean, I've purchased all of those questions for you guys for every sort of certification. And I keep doing more. I even have the Pocket Prep. I even have the exam. There's another place called Exam something. I don't recommend them as much. Exam something. What is it? Is it with this one? No, it's not on this one. It's on this account. Exam Edge. There you go. Exam Edge. I purchased those two. They have 500 questions that are AAPCs. They're about $50 to buy all 500, but all their questions are one sentence, which is, it kind of defeats the purpose where nothing is like a case. They're alphabetical. I mean A, B, C, D. They're multi-choice, but none of their questions are ever any longer than one sentence. They're all one sentence. So I like Pocket Prep because they put some of that propaganda in there trying to mess you up, but that's called Exam Edge. If you're really low in anatomy, they have a lot of one sentence anatomy things that are pretty cool that'll help you out. But you only have 5 questions in anatomy on the certification exam, so don't spend a lot of money and time, but these are handy dandy. They're $50-$60 for 500, and the only explanations they do give is what the CPT code might say or something like that, but it's not like a page numbers. But yeah, got to know what region of the part the head is in. Where's the brain? Cephalic. That's an artery. We got to worry about that. It's cranial. So that's kind of cool. I was working with Betty when we did this question together. So I remember. I miss Betty. Anybody else remember Betty? But anyway, those are my recommendations. You're 1 point away. Exam Edge and mostly AAPs. Sorry, I'm getting all confused here. We're going to go right there. Yep. Pocket Prep will definitely push you over the edge so that you can pass, for sure. You passed, and you finished an hour and 40 minutes early and passed first try. Good job, Chrissy. Awesome. That's great to hear. That is fantastic. Yep. It's a really good job, too. Yep. Whoops. Who's making you laugh? I remember Betty. Oh, yeah, Betty. I miss Betty. She just fell off the earth. I don't know what happened to her. But congratulations, Chrissy. I had 2 others pass today. I had another Jennifer pass today, and Amanda, she passed today too. We put everybody in our Discord group. So if you haven't joined, we do have practice rooms and everything else in our Discord group. And I also keep a list of everybody that we've helped pass too. But we have practice questions in our Discord group too. Cases. We even have book prep ideas. Just tons of rooms that will help you out. Study buddies, all kinds of stuff, but all that's free. So is my website, medicalcodingbyjen.com. Don't forget about that. And yep, I'm here Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and we'll go over practice questions. Let's see the rationale to that question about the 2 multiple physicians working on our little 5-year-old. Yep, there you go. Let's check out these codes. So I like to look at the numbers just as numbers. So I see that we have a 60 and a 61. Those 2 codes are closer than any of the other ones, the 50 and the 51 or 71. So I'll look at those 2 numbers first and see if I'm under that header. So 929. Yep. Yep, AHEMA doesn't let you skip through them or go back to the question. You got to answer it and move on. You're correct. AAPC lets you flag them and you can go back to them later on. Super helpful. I had my third question I kept going back to and back to over and over again. They like to put the hardest questions right at the beginning to psych you out and make you think, I never studied any of this and I don't know what I'm doing. Why am I here? Why did I pay this money? I'm nowhere near prepared. So we're under the header of other therapeutic services and procedures. So right here we have cardio version. We got elective or external or internal. So this one is external. This one's internal. If I'm on the right page and the right codes, let's see if that is what our patient's having done. Yeah, that looks good. I just need to know, are we external or internal? What did we do? Did we electric shock the patient while they're cut open on the table, or did we do it delivered on the patient's chest? So it is not internal, it is external, don't you think? Yep, 749. Good job. Y'all like A? I like A too. A is correct. Good job. See how looking just for the differences instead of reading the question is a lot easier? All right, let's look. Got twos. Oh, they're all in a row. Let's just go to the first one in numerical sequence. 2, 6, 10. 10. We've got swallowing function. 11 is motion. 12 is swallowing, but it includes the flexible sig. Flex, swallowing, and then, oh, I put that on the wrong one, didn't I? Flexible, swallow, and then 16 is on 748, and that's a flex, eval, swallowing, sensory test. Sensory instead of swallowing. What did we do on the patient? We did the flex, we did an evaluation, and assessing the pharyngeal swallow. What do you guys think? Which one of those checks all the boxes for everything? Everybody liking 12? We have the video recording. A can't be A because A doesn't have the video recording. So when they say video recording, this one's got no recording, so we can't have it be an A. So it's definitely not that one. The only ones that have video recording is the 12, 11 to 16. 16 does too. Yep. Y'all are correct. It is 12. When taking the exam, use the process of elimination. Get rid of answers that can't be chosen then. Yep. That's what we do. We look for coding irregularities. We look for similarities, for sure. We've got two differences, two codes that are 69 and two codes that are 65. Let's look at these two differences, see what they are, and then we can shut out two of them. So let's see. The first one in numerical sequence is going to be C and D, so that's the 96365. I'm getting there. We are on page 824. Yep. And 96365 and 69. One of them is intravenous infusion and one of them is sub-Q infusion. So all we got to do is see, are we doing IV or sub-Q? Let's see. It says intravenously, so we're going to get rid of A and B, right? And which answer would be correct based off time? $65 will do up to 1 hour, and then each additional hour will go for our 66. This is 1 hour, and this is for an additional hour. Did we do an additional hour? We did 15 minutes, but that's not a whole hour. I would bet it would be unlikely that we would bill 2 hours for that. Also, one more observation from AAPC. If the difference is 1 CPT code and 2 CPT codes on your remaining answers, it's usually just 1 code. So, one more thing to keep in mind. We won't bill for that extra 15 minutes. It has to be 2 hours before we bill that 66. Needs to be 31 minutes or more beyond the hour before they can do that add-on code. $15 won't get you there.
Wait, Mom, you said you're using that one. Can I use this one? You don't mind?
I don't mind. It doesn't have a, yeah. Don't use my straw, my extra straw that I have in my drawer out there. But yeah, you can have that
It
one.
doesn't have a straw?
Oh,
that's fine.
yeah. You just have to wash it. Still got my germs on it.
What germs?
I have germs. It's not Cap. Sorry, my child came in asking if he could have my gym water bottle. Well, I used it. You got to wash it. All right, for this one, we are looking at 10 and 20 are cool, but the 34 and 37 are closest together numerically to each other. So 910, let's go look that one up. 910, sorry about the shaky table. 910, and then 34. All right, we are under gastroenterology, and then esophageal function, esophageal gastro reflux test. Are we under gastrology? What is our 9110? since we're all kind of close. They're all kind of close. One's mobility, but if we went to the junction, it'll be 10. If we did a pressure test, it'll be 20. If we did the nose, it's going to be 34. And 35 is 37. 37? I don't have any notes on that one. Okay, let's see. Where did we put our tubes? What did we do here? We did an esophageal function test with GERD testing. Which one says that? We did do a nasal cavity. Okay, so that right there ought to be able to tell us what we did. B is what? 37? We got B's and D's. B's and D's. $34 is nose. 1037. It is nasal too. Both of these are nasal. How do we tell the difference? Let's see. 34 is a reflux test. Reflux test. Reflux. And 37 is also a reflux test, but it's a function test. Yeah, no, this one's the function test. Function. Function. Function with GERD, because we've got the esophageal function test in the first part of the CPT code. The last part of the CPT code is GERD, the gastroesophageal reflux test right there. So it says it exactly at 37. It's not 34 because it's not a function test. There's no function in that CPT code descriptor on 34. 34 does not have the word function. So just making sure you know whether you're doing that one word or not is super helpful. No function on 34. Make sense? So we're doing B all day long. There's your rationale. Thank you for the 6,000 likes and the 12 shares. Y'all are awesome. Only 80 on tonight. All right, we've got, I did a live on Sunday too. I forgot. I don't know if I even have that posted yet. I need to see who I've got posted and what. I think I'm behind. It was a good live. I think I ended up with like 100 and something people on. I may have to do more lives on Sundays. All right, 938. We got 2 that are 8s, and then we've got 2 that are 9s, but the 9s are closer. So 938. I don't have Sundays posted yet either. Okay. Are the questions on the test as simple? Because I'm doing ABC packets and they're hard. Some questions on the CPC exam are easier than the practice questions there. Be sure to get D, E, and F too. I know it's more of a cost. It's another 70-something bucks, but if you can swing it somehow, please try to get all those practice exams. And some questions are easier, some questions are harder. But if you make notes next to every one of the CPT codes and ICD-10 codes of those differences or what was written inside the the exam, like what we did just a second ago. If you didn't go highlight function on 37 and make note that 34 has no function and put no function underneath it, you're missing out on the point of these questions. So at 91034, you should write underneath that CPT code number, no function. And then this one, you should highlight function. You could also write in with GERD testing because they don't have it spelled out as JE or GERD testing. They have it written out in the full word text. But however the answer or key words that you use from these questions, make note of them underneath those CPT code descriptors, whether it's ICD-10 or HitPix or whatever you're dealing with in whatever question. Be sure to make notes underneath each CPT code as you're doing these questions. That way you have it to reference you and remind you next time what the differences are. Super helpful. I'm missing Monday's live, Sunday's live, and today's live. Thank you, Twinkle. You're welcome, Ruby. All right. 938, where am I at? What numbers am I at? 938. We're going to do musculoskeletal after these. 938. 92. Where are you at? You're down here. With the 88. No, we're not doing 88. We're doing 86. And we're doing 80. Okay. One's a duplex. 80 is duplex. Since they're all on the same page, I might as well write something about them. 86 is intra. If you don't have this written down. Intra. 92. And 93. What's my differences? 92 has no IV. And 93 has IV. All right, what are we doing? We're doing a transvaginal attempt, and it can't be performed due to the patient's whatever, dysphagia. So we ended up doing a Doppler study today. Awesome. We did do intravenous, a Doppler with intravenous. So what does that tell you your answer is? Which one is a Doppler with intravenous? Oh my Lord, I got B, C's, and D's. Definitely not B, because B has no IV. That's its difference. 92 has no IV. Does 80 have IV? That's under a duplex scan. It's a DU scan, not a DO scan. We're doing a DO scan. Look at the name of our test. It says right there, DO. The 80 is a DU scan. Definitely not that one either. The 86, it's got intracranial. But are we looking for that? What are we looking for in this? if you wanted to see, are we looking for an embolism? See, embolic signals. We're looking for embolisms. In 93, yep, we like our 93, but in our 86, we're just doing intracranial arteries. It's not for the embolum studies is all we're looking for. We're not doing a complete study of everything that's in the brain. We're only looking for embolism signals is all we're doing. So that's why it's broke down into these smaller ones. And we just use the IV. So that's a complete. We're not doing a complete. We're only looking for the embolism. And we're using IV. So that's the two main key things. C. C. Hello, Lester, my kitty cat. Come to say hello. Oh, don't have a headache, Ash. Don't have a headache. Hey, Plane. How's it going? Good to see you guys. Thanks for all the likes. I hope this is helpful. Don't expect to get this the first time you see it. Keep watching. Keep practicing. Have out your books. Look at them with me. Some days I'm clearer in what I'm trying to say, and some days it just clicks with you. You'll go, oh, and a light bulb will go off and go, I know what she means now. But it's not going to happen overnight. Just hang out with me. All right. That's why I like to teach for free. That way you're not having to pay for my time, and you just getting what you can each time I'm talking. So these are all pretty close. They're all crazy numbers. We've got a differences between the 40s, and then we've got a difference in the 60s. But they're all super close. Our first number in numerical order is the 94640. 94640. So if you're in the 2022 CPT book, we're on 789. 40 is pressurized and non-pressurized inhalation treatment. Weird, because some of them are aerosol, some are continuous. This one is pressurized. R44 is continuous. R60 is also continuous. What's our differences between those two continuouses? Is one of them has positive airway, which is R60, right? R60. And this one is always usually going to mention that positive if they're going to mention anything. 62 is continuous also, but it is negative. So these are just cheat sheet symbols. You can write whatever you want. If you take your exam in person, you will get to write on your test exam book like this, and you can make up your own symbols for whatever means something to you. If you take the exam online, you don't get to write on the exam, and you don't get to have any paper or dry erase board writer to write with you. You're just going to see the question, and you're going to have to find a way to remember on your own which is which. But whatever way you're going to take the exam, practice that method. If you're only practicing the exam on the AAPC website where it's all electronic and you don't get to write on it, copy the questions down, put them in a Word document like I have, and practice writing one little word differences down, just like I'm doing, so that you get in the habit of doing that, because you don't want to start a new practice when you get to the exam. If you're going to do the exam online, like AAPC gives it to you, then keep the exam questions on the AAPC website and do it from there, because you can't write on that. So you just have to remember what the codes are and and know what your differences are, or have fingers in all these pages pointing to which ones they are. Whichever way you're going to take the exam, you practice those questions that way. That way it's easier for you. Definitely write all over the test. Yep, for sure. You took your Monday and you failed by 1 point. Yams, I'm so sorry. That is devastating. But keep going. Schedule it again. Go to Pocket Prep. Get you a month's worth of those 500 questions and practice that for the next 2 weeks and take it again. You're so close, 1 point away. You're ready to go again. Just, you need extra questions. And they have 500 with rationale, and they are written by AAPC. Go do those if you haven't already. If you have already done Pocket Prep, and you have already done all of A, B, C, D, E, and F of practice questions from AAPC, email AAPC, let them know you want more questions, and get the ones that are, let me see if I can find them real quick. Where am I at? Where am I at? Where am I at? This areas of study questions. You have to buy them. They're $14.95 each. But if you've already done Pocket Prep, you've already done AAPC's other practice questions, the A, B, C, D, E, and F, you're 1 point away. Then go get the area of study. I bought all of them. It's $500 for every single subject for hip picks and all that stuff and ICD-10. Don't do that, but just like if you know you're bad in cardiology, do the 2 cardiology ones, which is $30. If you're bad in E&M, get the 2 E&M ones. Those are $30 too. So don't buy them all. They're super expensive. But do those questions. Where am I at? I'm back to the questions, and I'm right here. So let's check out our question, see if we have continuous airflow and not just pressurized. If it's pressurized, we know right away what the answer is. But if it's continuous, you just need to know if you're negative or positive. All right. Let's see what we got. We do have continuous. Are we using positive or negative? Anything going on like that we need to know about? We know it's not going to be 40. Yeah, guys, I will. I'll show those again. And Sherry, billing. Just that you need to go the answers first. Look up the differences in your answers and only search the question. I didn't read none of that. I don't need to know none of the rest. The only thing that I need to carry with me from one question to the other one was whether it was continuous and whether it had positive or negative. So I don't look at any other words in the questions. Don't read the questions. And if you can, look for coding irregularities that would help you get rid of certain codes. There's also 2 answers that have the same diagnosis code, which is kind of interesting. Yeah, I don't see anything at all about positive or the negative, so that would leave out those 2. We just got the continuous inhalation, which this code, the 44, does without mention of positive or negative. So you can write a note underneath 44, not negative, not positive, and then make sure you highlight the positive and the negative in 60 and 62, just in case you get those. Those 3 code sets are all together in just small little variations. be sure and get the AAPC versions of those questions from for the billing. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, this CPB, don't they have their own practice questions you can get from AAPC? I have the CIC and their cardiology specialty and all that stuff, but do they have the billing ones? I've never bought those because I don't teach billing, but whatever they have, buy those. And I think the CIC is going to be the most like a CPB. If you wanted to buy some extra questions, these are like $70 and it's another 150 questions. Those will be more like what billing is, because those are inpatient coding, super hard, rough. But yes, areas of study are the questions. If you have failed your CPC exam, you need to get a hold of AAPC and see if you can buy some of these. It's $14 a test. Each test only has 10 questions in it. That's it. And for $14. But they're rough questions. They're what you're doing tonight. So they are technically appropriate for CPC. They come with rationale, and it'll show you what the differences are, and then plus you can make notes next to those CPT codes so you'll know the differences before you get to the game. You're welcome, Cher. B is our answer. Ooh, cardiology. These are always fun, but one rule of thumb, is that if one answer is written down twice, there's usually a reason for it. The difference is in the modifiers too, which can help you out. 58 means staged, and 78 means it's unplanned. So let's go see if our patient is having a staged procedure. What happened? Stent deployment successful. Patient had a heart cath earlier today and got rid of a blood clot. Patient is scheduled to return for surgery, so that looks like stage to me. It's not an unplanned thing, so we can get rid of A and D. That's super helpful. Just go with the modifiers and see what can help you get rid of things. Now all we have to do is look between the 33 and the 28. It's probably 28 because it's listed twice. When I tell you that if there's a reason for them having a code written down twice in an answer, they just want to know if you know the differences. Anyway, so our 92928. I haven't even gotten there yet. Okay, 92928. 929. Get to mutter into yourself all these numbers. 28. This is an angio with a stent, and that's what we did do, right? We did do a stent. I remember that. 33 is also a stent and an angio, but it includes an arthroectomy. Did they remove something too with the stent and the angio? If they remove something, then it's 33. If they did not and they just put in a stent, then it's C. Be sure and mark those differences down underneath these codes while you're hearing it from somebody telling you what the differences are, because that'll help you, because you may see questions like this on your exam, and if you haven't taken advantage of writing those differences down, it can be difficult to figure it out. A thromboectomy catheter was used to remove a clot. Ooh. So they did remove clot. What do you guys think? Yep, it's 751 page number. Thank you, Danny. We did deploy stents. We also removed a clot. But remember that the removing a blood clot and a thromboectomy is not the same as the word in arthroectomy. If you look at the code 92933, it says it does an ATHERECTOMY. So did we remove an artery is what that means. Did we do that? Did we have to resect and remove an artery? We did a thromboectomy. It's not unheard of during an angio to remove little foreign things like a blood clot or something. So that's not the same as a thromboectomy. Just because you see the ectomy doesn't mean it's the same as the artho. Not the same. Anything else? Just a successful that. I don't see them removing any arteries or things. French cath in the right femoral artery. Yep, that's it. And we did our stent. Yep, now you got it. Now it's C, yes. Yep. The prefix makes a big difference on that one, for sure. All right. These are all going to be in a row. We can't do the process of elimination with them. Let's just run to the first one in numerical order. 925. There's not any... There might be, one of them might be an add-on code, which you could eliminate right out of the gate. If one of them happens to be an add-on code, it has that plus symbol in front of it. But other than that, we won't have any coding irregularities to eliminate anything either. But let's see. Where are we at? We're on page 746. Is that right? Yes. Good job, guys. All right. Our 90 is mono, M-O. Our 92 is also, but this one's a mono exam. This one's a mono, but it's just the check. It's just checking the hearing aid. The '84 is electric with the mono, and 91 is by both hearing aids. How many are we doing? We got left ear. Do we got right ear messing with? So it's just for the left ear. They got hearing loss. They don't want to do surgery. They just want a hearing aid for today. And they're getting the exam. 2 of them have the exam. '94 has an evaluation and 90 has an evaluation. What do you think? How would you tell the differences in these? The electroacoustic that's in the 94, I think that's more like, would that be more for the cochlear implant? Because the electronic sounds only come from cochlear, so I'm thinking that's cochlear. Your regular normal hearing exam would be the 90, I bet. I bet it's A. What do you guys think? Ooh, I made a mess out of that one. And it's just one ear. Yep, good job. Everybody knew that one. Perfect. Yep. Not to analyze electroacoustic characteristics of the hearing aid. Just the one ear. That's cool. All right. 45 and 49 are the closest together numerically. Let's run to those two codes and see what's going on. 951. 951. Thank you, Anointed. You're awesome. Thank you so much. You do that every single live. You're so sweet. 951. Oh, yeah, I've got to give away some notes of mine today, right? That reminds me. What page are we on? I'm like 792. Thank you. I'm rolling around with like a chicken. Okay. 95149. And 45. Oh, God, I hate allergy injections. These are the worst. I'm so glad we got another question that I've never seen before because I haven't done any of these questions before. But I hate allergy injections. They are the worst. To code. They are the worst to code. So 48 is 1 dose, 4 venoms, but we're not doing 48. We're doing 49. 49 is 1 dose, 5 venoms. 45 is a single sting venom. Oh, Lord. What have we got? We do have a single stinging insect venom. Thank God. Okay. So that tells me we're close to 45. Now, could it be 34? Probably. That's 5 stinging insects. No, it's not going to be that, right? And then our 117, where the heck is that sucker? 95117 is 2 or more injections, but it is how many? Stick only, it says. Stick only. How many? We did 5 doses too. That really does match our 49, doesn't it? 1 dose, 5 venoms, 1 sting. I don't know. These are the worst. Y'all like B? These are so hard to do. How many venoms do we have? Single stinging, 5 doses, but what else? I gotta have something else. Allergic to instincts that have stingers. 1 single insect venom, 5 doses. we don't have no mention of venom in here. Like how many venom? Like, because if I was going to pick 49, I would have to have 5 venoms mentioned, and I don't. If I was going to pick even 48, it would have 4 venoms. 47 has 3 venoms. 46 has 2 venoms, like that, where 45 has 1. And they don't have a plus a s at the end like it's plural. They just said 1 venom, and my 45 is 1 venom. Yeah. And then they gave 5 doses for the patient to take to their primary care physician who injects it. Yep, you have to specify the number of doses. That's why it's times 5. But the important part about picking out the correct CPT code is knowing how many venoms are in each one of those CPT codes. So 49 has 5 venoms in it. If you please write that down, if you don't already have it or know it, and it's 1 dose. Yep, 48 has the 4 venoms in it. 47 has 3. 46 has 2. And 45 has 1 venom in it. And you do get to times these if you give multiple doses. That's something I don't have in my notes for this year, is that we could times these. So, okay, to time, because they don't say each or the number each dose. If the CPT descriptor had that in it, we'd know we could times them. So writing each will help us remember that we can times them. All right. Ooh, I'm already working on 2023 notes for you guys. It's been a lot of fun. I stopped so that I could see if I could turn a 2022 book into a 2023 to try to save some people $160 in getting new books. And I think I'm going to be able to do it. So I'll have those notes done by tomorrow, I think. Oh. So C is our answer for that one. One more, and then we're going to move to musculoskeletal. And what have we got? We've got 50 and 52 are the closest. Let's go to those real quick. 944. 944. Do you know if they will be making a new version of the study guide? Oh, I'm sure they will. For 2023, I'm sure they will. It's expensive. It's $100 and something every year. My 2019 one didn't change at all. The practice questions didn't, even in 2022. So it's full of good information, but I don't mind if you get an older version. Because that'll save you some money if you want to look for a used one over the internet. But I've about depleted the entire internet's supply of older versions right now. Because every time I find one with a good price, I'm like, ooh, here's one. Yeah, so. Okay, 944. I just hate for y'all to spend that much money on a book. Y'all got enough to pay for as it is, but it is a good book. 944 is full of a lot of information, but okay. I couldn't even read the whole thing. It was a lot of information. Okay, 94450. We're on page 788. Maybe, if I'm in the right spot. Yep. This is a breathing response, and 52 is a high altitude test. We're going high or we're breathing. What are we doing? Commercial flight sounds like high altitude testing. What are we doing? Yep, there it is. High altitude stimulation test. Yep. I know our 52 says that. Thank you, Sonia. Yep. That wasn't too bad. I wouldn't look any further. If I saw that match that word, I wouldn't bother looking up the other codes. I would just be happy and move on with my day. All right, that's all my new medicine practiced ones. Let's move over to musculoskeletal. Oh gosh. Look at all that. Don't look at all that. Don't let it freak you out. What we're going to do is we're going to take it one code at a time. Like always, we're just going to look at the first two numbers. We're going to do it one thing at a time. Don't let the other stuff mess with your head. I haven't done these questions yet, so all I did was copy paste, so I haven't read these yet. So let's see, we've got 2 that are 22 and 2 that are 27. So I'm going to go see what my differences are between those two codes, because I can get myself down to a 50-50 shot no matter what to this question if I can just get those headers correct. So let me get my book. I got to do some turning. Our medicine section, our muscle section and medicine section are far, far away from each other. 272, near the back here. 272. You got to be faster than me to get to these codes too for the exam, since you're counting down 144 seconds per question. Thank you for whoever did that math today. And don't forget, if you subscribe to the TikTok channel, then you get direct messaging with me, and then you can ask me to make you a TikTok on any subject you want that you're having trouble with. And same thing with YouTube. If you subscribe to the YouTube channel, message me and let me know that you want me to make a YouTube video for you, and I will do so. 927222. So we got to look at mama code. Since this is a child code, it's indented. We got to look at mama. So this is a closed procedure for a hip. 227 is an open procedure. So the first thing we're going to do is see if our procedure is opened or closed. That'll help us get rid of 2 answers. So let's check out our question just for that. Don't be reading nothing else. What are we doing? We're looking for scalpels being marked. We're going to be looking for things that are noting that we cut into somebody's skin. It does say an incision was made and an old scar distending all the way down. So this probably is an open procedure, right? Let's go here. Anytime they talk about cut and open somebody, we can get rid of those 2 answers. Now, what's the differences between these 2 answers, B and D? It's just the 17 and the 18. Or we could look, if CPTs are too confusing, you can look at the differences in the 2 diagnosis codes. One of them's a 14 and one of them's a 35. But let's look at the CPT codes. 27217. Unilateral is it. And 18 is bilateral. So are we doing unilateral or bilateral? Probably only doing one hip, right? The left of the left. Probably uni, right? Yeah, I would imagine so. So most likely D is our answer. And see how easy that was? I mean, you look at all this answer and you start freaking out. But you don't need to worry anything about anything. Just break it down one thing at a time. Go see what the differences are in the codes first. What's the main header telling you? Open, close, percutaneous. Are we going through the skin? Are we just pushing it back into place? What are we doing? That'll help you get down to 50-50 shot, and then look at the next code difference. See if we got it right. We picked... Oh, actually both those, 17 and 18, are both unilateral. If we wanted to do bilateral, we add the 50 modifier. So I was wrong on that. Okay, what's our differences between these two? One of them's anterior pelvic and one of them's posterior pelvic. That's what it is. Gosh, y'all got to watch me. My note for the bilateral got me. So which one's posterior? 18 is posterior. And then this one is anterior. And we're anterior, right? Maybe anterior. It says here posterior pelvic bone retractors. Because sometimes but then we've got the word posterior. So that's what I'm searching for, is anterior or posterior throughout the question. The transverse part of the ACE. The pelvic bone is what we're worried about. We don't care about the ACE. That's the difference between the 17 and 18. And it says posterior. So that's 18. So that's B, not D. Even though up here we've got anterior. Why do they have anterior up here? Because that's with the ACE. Anterior, we were doing the ACE. But the pelvic bone was posterior, which was the difference in this code. This code was anterior. Oof. And this code was posterior. I probably would have grabbed that anterior and picked D if I didn't look hard enough. That is tricky. Yeah. Posterior part of that bone, but we went anterior on the other part of the body. Very cool. B is your answer for this one. All right. One code at a time. I love the fact that we got the 13 and 3 of them. So I'm going to run to that code first. 225. 225. We're around 160. And, yep. 13. 161. That is percutaneous, means through the skin. Augmentation, one vertebral body. It can be unilateral or bilateral if we're doing this one. Our other one, the 10, is poly going under the skin. What's this one going to have going underneath the skin? Vertebral body, unilateral, bilateral. Mechanical device. 10 is an injection. 13 is a mechanical device as far as our defenses go. Those that have been with me for a long time, just looking at these answers, which answer would it be? Based off knowing who AAPC is and knowing nothing else. Not even knowing what the CPT code descriptor says. Just looking at the numbers. What does it tell you the answer is? Yeah. Yeah, the one with the one CPT code and the one diagnosis most likely is the answer. One thing with AAPC, they're always trying to add crap like radiology to codes to make you think you got to add it, or they're adding extra diagnoses to make you think you need to do it. A lot of times it's not any of that. And this note could go on for days, be super long, and it just makes you intimidated to pick one code and one diagnosis when all the other answers are several. But remember, they really want you under, not over coding for sure. Yeah. So let's check out our question. So did we do percutaneous? Our approach was using unipedicular approach. If you don't have that down as an AKA word for percutaneous, that will help you out. The needle is also percutaneous. That tells you it's percutaneous. What else are we doing? One vertebral body, all imaging. Are we doing thoracic? Thoracic? Fluoroscopes included in the CPT code. We know 13 includes all imaging, so both A and B can go away right away because it already includes radiology. And then your only difference is the 13 and the 10 after that. And this uses an injection and this uses a device, a machine. It was used. We used a machine, didn't we? Coloptoprosy? Yeah. For the machine. The mechanical device. It's in the parentheses in 13. That's what I have y'all highlight, the differences between a lot of these codes. If they have a parentheses, those two little C things, that's where a lot of the words that are the differences between these exam questions, that's where you'll find the same word listed in the question. Yep. Yep, got to be C. Yep. Does it say anything about the 10? It doesn't. Let's see. Was a vertebroplasty performed eliminating A and D. A was that and D was this because of the vertebroplasty. Well, the 10 says it's under the heading of vertebroplasty. That makes little sense. Why would that eliminating D? Oh, the patient did not have. Oh. I was about to say it's under vertebroplasty. Yeah. I can't read for nothing. Oh. Like I said, I haven't done the questions before, but I knew that answer was C all by itself. All right. 62 is down twice. The only difference is the modifiers. Our differences, 77 is repeat. 78 is unplanned. What we got going on? 4 days ago, but it must be done again because of a fall. Is that an issue that the doctor made? Is it the same physician? Also, the original physician was not available, so they did have to call in another physician. Good gracious. By any other professional? During the post-operative period? By the same physician or other physician, so they both can be both other physician. Hey, Baking. I thought I saw you on earlier. Yep, we're definitely going to keep our 77. Then all you got to do is figure out if you are a 67 or a 62. So 277. 277. Oh, the toes. 277, 62. Got to look at Mama, which is 60. It's a closed treatment. Of a metal fracture. What kind of fracture? Yep. Yep. Perfect. 67. Closed treatment of the posterior something or another fracture. But we're medial. We're medial. And this one's posterior and this one's medial. So got to be D. Yep. Yep. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Oh, 16. It's too young. All right. All these are going to be in the row. 20, 25 are the closest. Let's go to those. 2, 3, 5. 2, 3, 5. 2, 3, 5. 25. It's a child. We got to look at Mama, which is 20, which is a closed treatment of stern dislocation. Are we using manipulation or not? That's the only thing. Did they manipulate or not? So it is a dislocation of the stern and conscious statin, and they did a reduction. That's the same thing as manipulation. That is your AKA term that you need to put down beside manipulation. So what you think? $30 is an open procedure where they cut the patient open. They didn't cut the patient open. 05 is a clavicle fracture, and this is not a clavicle fracture. This one is without a reduction, so we got to know our answer C on that one. Reduction means manipulation. That's why it's not A. That's why it's C. Reduced means manipulation. Be sure and write that down beside that. All right, our 202s. We got 2 of those, and then we have 2 under the 230s. We got to go see what our headers are first, and between those 2, and then we can check out our differences and get it down to a 50-50 shot. 202. Let's see, 202. 202. Biopsy, muscle. We are superficial. And 06 is muscle. 230. 230 what? 66 and 65. This is shoulder biopsy, also superficial. And 66 is deep or in the muscle. Now we're under excision and we're under shoulder for these two. Our other codes were also excisions, but these will be anywhere on top of any muscle, basically, is our O2, our O2s, and this specifically is in the shoulder area. So let's see what we got going on. We've got the deltoid muscle. Where's the deltoid at? You need to know where your deltoid muscle is. If you don't know where it's at, you can look on page 137 of the 2022 CPT book. You got Muscle Man here to show you where in the world the deltoid is. You can just do a word search for it till you find it. We're doing down to the muscle, so we probably get rid of A and C because both of those are superficial. Down to the deltoid muscle. You just need to know, would you bill in the beginning of the CPT book or in the back there? B or D? If you do look on 137, deltoid is about 5 words down, and it's on top of that shoulder right there. So I would definitely not do the 202. It's not specific enough. The 230, 66 is perfect for this one. Yep, B. Yep. All right. Let's see. Again, we've got two differences. We've got the 100 and the 111, and then we have twos here. Our first one in numerical sequence is this one. Let's go to 28100. 28. This is an excision of a bone cyst. Very cool. Our 111. Good gracious, is the osteoectomy. And then our 120 is a partial. And then 22 is underneath that partial. It's doing things for, like, if the patient has osteomyelitis or bossing of the bone, we would be doing the 20 or 22. was excised directly off the bone and sent to pathology. We did a sequestectomy. Very cool. Which is under your 20 and 22, right? It's under both of those in the highlighted parentheses. You just need to know, did you do the tarsus or calculus, or did you do tarsa and metatarsal? What did we do? We do down to the metatarsal. Yeah, I like our 22 too. Sounds good. Which is unusual for AAPC to pick the highest code number in the whole set. Kind of interesting, but it's okay. Every once in a while, it's the highest number, not the lowest number. Unless we got it completely all wrong. But no, we didn't. 22 is our answer. Very good. Gonna get a drink. We're almost done here. We got 5 more minutes. Almost. Those are just those instruments. Those are just describing instruments. These are like pliers. They a surgical tool. They're just pliers. They remove little bone spurs. I remember one of the first times I ever saw my mom's foot X-ray. She comes into the doctor's office, and old doc gets her an X-ray. She's got one of these, like, and I swear it looks like a cat's claw coming off the heel of her foot, but it kind of curls up to where it could almost touch her Achilles tendon, like right there. So if you don't get those bone spurs cut off, they can actually just kind of keep growing until they hit your Achilles tendon. And then if that gets hurt, it could pop that, and it goes all the way up your leg, where they have to do this huge surgery and put you down in a cast for 6 months. It's awful. But yeah, some people have heel spurs on the backs of their heels from wearing those high heel contraptions all their life. She was a corporate girl. And those things are death traps, making you walk on the tops of your paws of your feet, the balls right underneath your toes, right? Instead of walking on your heels, you're walking on the bally parts, the parts up here when you're wearing high heels, because your heels are just way up there, you know. So if you only walking on this part of your foot and not flat on your heels, you're going to get those bone spurs, and those things are rough. You got to walk on it, on the heels, and not wear high heels. Yep, they are painful. Because every time you move, it looks like a cat claw. It's sticking into your skin and moves. It's awful. Oh. All right, it looks terrifying on exam, too. Okay. Probably the 8 7s, since it's down 3 times. 2 6 5. 2 6 5. 2 6 5 8 7. We are reconstruction of a digit. Is that what we're doing? Let's see. What are we doing? We do have a digit. We are doing reconstruction. That sounds cool. Now, if we were doing 87s, they have it down to whether we either do it by itself or we can times 2 it. It doesn't have any word each by it like you can times it. It says soft tissue and bone. It does seem to be singular. It doesn't say plural. Did she get 2 done? She did 2 digits. She must have had an extra digit. Some people are born with 6 hands, 6 fingers, I mean, and they have that extra digit there on the end that grows out. It's hereditary, and it did not include any bones or joints. When we see newborn babies born that way, and they don't have any bones or joints in it, we just take a piece of suture material and we tie it off and let it die and fall off on its own. That's the easiest way to get rid of those. Yeah. But I wouldn't times 2 this. It doesn't look like it's anything that we would times 2. Then all we need to know is, would we add an integumentary thing or a musculoskeletal thing? But because they said there was no bones or joints, I think we're integumentary, right? If it's just skin. 26951 is what? 26951 is an amputation of a finger, thumb, primary and secondary joint, single. No, we definitely will not bill that thing. Not at all. Yeah. So we'll definitely bill C on that one. Absolutely. It does if there was anything there. But it just contained soft tissue, and it was a simple excision. So, yeah. Yep. If there was any bony protrusion, we just kind of shave it down right there on the end. They grow out right there at the end of that pinky joint down at the bottom. And they're usually so easy to get rid of. C is our answer. But that's it. I've got more integumentary or musculoskeletal that we can do on Friday. And y'all let me know in Discord what other questions y'all would like to see. Anesthesia, I haven't done that in a while. Cardiology, you name it. Let me know what you want us to do. Yep, we have a parenthetical note that says if you're going to use it, use the other code. Perfect. It's exactly what AAPC wants to know if you know the differences of. Some quick tips on how to make up your book when you're working on your book prep. If something says without something, just put a line through it that it doesn't include it. When it says with and without, leave it alone. But when it says it's not doing something, just put one line through it. You don't need it. If procedures are open or if they're closed, I make different colors for those. It makes it a whole lot easier picking out your correct answers for sure during the exam super fast, because a lot of these are the same bone, but the only difference is whether they're opened or closed procedure. So that's super helpful if you haven't made notes like that. My notes are available on my website at medicalcodingbyjen.com, but I do have a place there that'll show you how to make your own notes. You'll see a picture, you click on it, and it'll tell you the instructions on what to do. Like, how do you fix your anatomy so you know all your anatomy questions and all that stuff. It's there too. So is your ICD-10, how to fix that book too. I am going to go get back to work on my little project I have going on right now for the 2022 book of CPT, turning it into a 2023 book. I got me another plain blank one that doesn't have anything in it, none of my notes or anything, and I'm going through to see if I can make it into a 2022 book without too much trouble, because I know a lot of people haven't gotten to pass and they don't want to buy another book for if they take it again in January or past. And so I'm going through and seeing if we can. So far, I'm all the way in the back near, what was I doing? I was doing hernias. And so far, it's working out. So right now, these notes are for 2023 test takers, so don't worry about it if you're taking it before December. It looks like I'm going to be able to do it there's like 1,000 new codes in Category 2 codes section. And that helps me know that there's not so many. There's no new codes in anesthesia, and I don't have to edit any anesthesia codes for 2023. So that whole section is good. And in Tigmatary, I think I had like 3 or 4 new codes. It wasn't bad. And so on. So they are redoing all the observation and inpatient hospital codes, but it's not bad. What they're doing is they are renumbering them and moving them somewhere else, but then they're getting rid of all the history and exams for everything. Observation, hospitalization, subsequent visits. All we're going to have to do is MDM. So that is super cool. Thank you for the wishing bottles, Anointed. But things like this, the subsequent, they're going to keep that code, and instead of having it be subsequent, it's subsequent hospital care, but it's also inpatient or subsequent observation day. And we don't have 3 requirements. All we have is a straightforward MDM, and none of that else matters. So they're combining things, and they're getting rid of things like we did in the E&M at the very beginning when we did the 99202s, and when last year they got rid of all the 2 years ago, they got rid of the history and the exam on all the very beginning E&Ms. All we have is MDM level differences and time. They have straightforward, low, but this one also has time. Well, now our hospitalizations won't even have time. They won't be new patient. They won't be established patient differences. The only differences are going to be from all those codes is just the MDM. So, yeah, I think they were saying it was so many thousands of changes that there was going to be no way to do it. I mean, I think we're going to be able to do it. We'll see. We'll see. So far, I've done all the sections without any trouble, and now I'm working on the hernias right now. So they're messing up my hernias. They're redoing all of them. I love my hernias the way they were, but that's okay. We'll deal with it. They're deleting all of these codes and going to make new numbers. And we're going to do hernias by size of the hernia now, instead of just whether they're reductible or incarcerated or strangled. Now we're going to do them reductible by size and then incarcerated or strangled by size. So they're just adding more codes in there. They just didn't leave any number rooms for anything else. So this is one of the biggest sections that I'm going to redo. But I think we have room because we've got all that room. And then on the next page where we're redoing the other set, the laparoscope, I've got this room because we're going to delete all those codes. So I think we're going to be okay. I think you're going to be able to turn your 2022 books into a 2023. If you bought a 2023 book, then great. It's wonderful. These are just for people that have been with me for a long time, and they've already went through their book and done this nightmare stuff that I told them to do, or they bought my notes for 2022, and then now they are faced with either passing in November or December, and they haven't yet, and they want to continue on practicing and maybe take it in January. But then they did want to transfer all their notes they purchased from me to a 2023 book and redo this all over again. This takes a lot of time. So I worried with that stress and decided to get me another book and see if I can do it. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm almost done. I should be done with it tomorrow. James? Yeah? Are you busy? Oh, look at Lester. He's in the baby one. Oh, my gosh. My cat. He's too big for his cat.
My cat.
Your cat. his cat is too big for that, so I bought him a brand new one last weekend. Will he get in it? No. But he likes the old one. He's too big for.
Cats are always bad.
I know. Get the cookie jar and let's do some drawings for the free notes. So, if you email me,
How many?
give me that sticky note over there. Has that got my email address on it? No, the one on the bed. So, if you email me at...
How many?
Just a second. medicalcodingbyjen@gmail.com, and you want some of my free notes, just put in the subject line of that email to me, raffle, RAFFEL, and I will take your name, write it down on a piece of paper, and throw it in my cookie jar, and my children will call you out. So, yeah. 2. You do 2? That's my Jaybird. He's in trouble. Yeah, when the school calls me, you're in trouble. You got 2? You got 2? Okay. All right. Thank you.
But John doesn't know that.
I know. Hush. All right. I've got Chastity. And I got Sandra. So if that is either one of you, please message me on Discord or back at my email address and let me know if there's a section of my notes that you want. If you're waiting on me to get done with 2023 notes, that's perfectly fine. I'll keep your little sticky note on my desk, and you can have whatever section of notes that you want. I still have Tinder, who won a couple of months ago, and I think that person is waiting for 2023 notes too. So if either one of you are winners and want a section of notes, just message me which section you want. This money comes from Anointed and all the people that gift during the live and the memberships. Like 4 or 5 people have signed up for TikTok memberships, so that money goes to giving y'all the free notes. So I hope that's helpful. If you want to set up tutoring with me, I am full up on tutoring right now. Probably not doing any tutoring, unfortunately, until next year, January. I'm just covered up. I wish I could clone myself. Between the job and my boys and home and everything else, and I'm still tutoring 7 days a week. I just have a ton of students I'm trying to help right now. And I was tutoring today. I'm going to be tutoring tomorrow. Christy, I got to do, and somebody else. I got 2 tomorrow. I'm just covered up right now, but we'll open it back up next year in January. It is on my website, but right now all I have is our workshops that I have opened. Our next workshop is for $10. It's on a Sunday. It's 3 hours on Zoom, and it's going to be on evaluation and management. You can book that right now with me. It's going to be December 11th, but tutoring, I don't have any space right now. I wished I did. Because I do the 3 hours free here, 2 hours free here, 3 nights a week. I just don't have any time right now. I wish I did. Was I going to show off? I don't remember. But our Discord group is super helpful. If you've never used Discord before, when you do get in here, I do have a room that is called Discord. And when you go in there, you can see a video on how to navigate Discord. My website let me get there real quick, at medicalcodinggym.com. Where am I at? Yep. I have all the social media links listed there for you guys, so that when you do get there, just click the tab that says social media, and you can join the Facebook group, the TikTok group, the YouTube channel, and this is that button right there that joins you into that Discord. Tons of people there that can help you out in Discord, and you can even get study buddies. There's just tons of help. I have all my stuff I need to hit the information button. That way it doesn't get rid of some of the rooms. But this is our room for Discord tips right there. When you get there, go to that room first. And that first video right there will show you how to navigate in Discord. But there's practice rooms here with practice questions for CPC, even for cases. Tons of things that can help you. On my website, too, if you go to the page under members as CPT book prep, that shows you exactly how I prep my CPT notebook or my ICD-10 or my anatomy. It gives you the instructions. All you got to do is click on the picture and it'll tell you what to do. Okay. But tons of free help on my website, tons of free help on YouTube. And if you want to book for our workshop coming up, you can go to, the tab that says book online, and then you can get in on our workshop on Sunday. If at all you can't attend on that day, which is December the 11th, you still get free replay of the Zoom meeting forever. So just even if you can't be there that day, it'll be a good time. We'll do about 75 E&M questions, one right after the other, and you'll be able to absolutely learn a lot about E&M that day for sure. No one has sent me any information to update anything on that document about what's been on the exam in the last 45 days since September. So if I had any emails or any messages from anybody noting any vocabulary words or anything that was on their exam, I would definitely update it. I just don't have any info. So it's super stressful to try to remember what was on the exam and pass at the same time. So it's hard. But if by chance you ever are taking one of those exams and you do pass or have extra time after you finish the exam and you want to go back and highlight any numbers that were on your exam or write down any vocabulary terms, that would help out a ton of people. I went through and highlighted all the ones that were on my exam as possible answers, and I keep those noted for you guys. And if other people let me know, I highlight them too. That way you can audit and make sure your notes are good, at least for the ones that we know that are on the exam. But nobody has given me any info. So I hope good luck. Yes, you take your exam on Friday. I do have a document that they're talking about, which is one that says what's been on the exam in the last 45 days. And it goes through like exam A, B, C, H, and several other ones, and tells you it's raw information. So it might be just a CPT code, or it might be a vocabulary term, but it is in the shop if you want it. And the money for that proceeds also goes to giving away free tutoring. It's $25, but it's like 40 pages of information that's come from people that recently took their exam and told me what they said was on it, whatever CPT code or vocabulary word. If I have a practice question that resembles something that they've said, I'll put that on there with the rationale and answer for you too, just to be helpful. So that's what that document's for. All right, guys. Again, we got 2 winners. So if you won, be sure and email me and let me know what notes you need or want. If you want to wait for the 2023 notes to be ready, then that's great. I'll keep you as a winner and let you pick out what you want. I can't give away tutoring right now because I'm just covered up. Who am I doing tutoring with tomorrow? I know I have somebody. I have 2. Christy. I need to do MK, I need to do Christy, and PJ. I'm doing PJ in the morning. Where's PJ? And then Friday, I'm doing Erica. I'm serious, I'm doing tutoring 7 days a week. I just have so many that have booked that I need to get in and get them done. So, yeah, it's crazy. There's PJ. We're doing her tomorrow. Be sure and let me know what subjects you want to do. I can do like 3. So like E&M, musculoskeletal, or cardiology, whatever. Just pick 3. Good night. Good night, sunshine. Good night, guys. You're very welcome. Happy to help you guys. And I've got to go download some lives, it sounds like, and get them posted up on YouTube too. All right, guys. What's the code for Discord again? It's in my TikTok bio too. So if you go to my TikTok, click on my bio, it's right there in the TikTok bio. So 6243, it's right there. I just wrote it there so that y'all wouldn't have to search for it high and low. Yep. I gotta make some TikToks. It's been like 5 days. Haven't made any. All right, guys. Thank you much. Monday's live and tonight's live. Did I already post Sunday's live? Maybe I did. Okay. Thank you, Twinkle. I'll get them posted. I gotta go check my emails and see if there's anything you can help out with too. Thank you much. I'll see you guys on Friday.